Lots of drama in a Los Angeles courtroom today as the defense asked for a mistrial in the murder trial of a Hollywood therapist. Amie Harwick died in 2020 after falling from the bedroom balcony of her Hollywood Hills home. Gareth Pursehouse, her former boyfriend, is on trial for her murder. Prosecutors believe Pursehouse broke into Harwick's home while she was out with friends, waited until she returned, and then strangled her and threw her off the balcony. But the defense claims that Pursehouse was suicidal and that Harwick's fall was accidental. Harwick was the former fiancé of game show host and comedian Drew Carey. The two had just gotten back in touch days before her death. Today, that request for a mistrial sparked, obviously, a lot of heated controversy. Let's go now to NewsNation correspondent Alex Caprariello, who was in the courtroom all day. Why are they asking for a mistrial?
Well, good afternoon to you, Elizabeth. Really, it comes down to what they feel like is a lack of discovery being presented to them. They feel as if every time the prosecution calls a new witness, they're learning new information that they didn't have previously. And when you're trying to make the best case possible for your defendant, for your client, obviously it doesn't really work all that well that way. And so basically this happened immediately after lunch. We came into the courtroom and there was already a very heated discussion between the prosecution, the defense, and the judge, with the defense really making the claim that they are not being given everything that they should be and calling for a mistrial. Now, the judge heard their arguments. He put it on the record, allowed it on the record, but then ultimately denied it, saying that it just wasn't strong enough at this point.
Okay, so let's move on to what did happen today. Actually, you just watched video from a jailhouse video interview or visit from two friends who were visiting Pursehouse while he was in custody. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this was new information that we weren't exactly expecting today. There were stipulations earlier that allowed it to be shown to the jury, and both sides approved of it. And really, it was a bombshell, in my opinion, because it was the first time that we actually heard Pursehouse speaking to his two friends who had visited him in the jail about 16 days after Harwick had died. And it was really telling. First of all, it was telling about sort of his demeanor inside of the jail. I would say the best way to categorize it is sort of lighthearted. Elizabeth, you would be probably surprised someone that's accused of murder could be joyful behind jail cells. But really, he was speaking to his friends in a very casual manner. He was making jokes. He was pushing them to sell as much stuff as possible because he really felt that he and his brother were in a financial strait at that point. But really, he did not seem all that sad, remorseful, discontent during that jailhouse interview. And I think there's two things that the prosecution really wanted to point out by showing that video. Number one was a certain spot in that video. I have it paraphrased here. The friends asked Pursehouse, "Are you ever getting out?" Pursehouse replies, "No." "Ever?" "No," he replies. So that shows to me a sort of state of mind that he perhaps knew that he was guilty. But then also, I think the prosecution was pointing out the fact that was trying to push back against the defense's claim that he was suicidal and that she actually fell off the balcony, because not once in that 30-minute jailhouse interview does he ever mention to his friends that he was feeling suicidal. He never makes the claim that, you know, she fell off the balcony. And so I think that was telling away by seeing just how he was. Exactly. None of that was spoken aloud to his two friends who were visiting him.
Okay, Alex, very quickly, a forensic animator also took the stand to testify today. What's a forensic animator?
Yeah, great question. This is really the bulk of this morning's testimony. It really was quite fascinating to me because this is someone who is paid to actually take crime scene photos and videos and actually animate them using these computer programs so they can show the jury. So basically, all these evidence markers were placed all throughout the crime scene. This guy took those photos and images, built a 3D animation, and showed it to the jury. And it allows the jury to have a walkthrough of the actual house, of the actual crime scene, of the actual balcony, without actually being there in the Hollywood Hills. So it was really fascinating because these are really elaborate animations, and it allowed us to see exactly what that house looked like and the blood and everything that those investigators found.
And how plausible Purshouse's story is that she accidentally fell, and yet I had broken into her home and was waiting for her so I could kill myself in front of her. Okay, Alex Caprariello, thanks so much for the update on the courthouse drama today. And thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.